Hi, welcome to Rose Opal Knits, a crafty channel. This is the end of January cross stitch update episode, and I'm Erica. Welcome. If you are returning, thank you so much for choosing to come back and spend some more of your precious free time here. And if you are new, I hope you stick around, you like what you see, and you consider subscribing. So today is going to be a very quick update video. I have to leave here in about 20-25 minutes to go visit a friend for lunch. It was her birthday yesterday, and there is a Michael's right next door to the restaurant, and I have a gift card from Christmas, so I have some DMC to pick up. All right, but if you are new here, like I said, my name is Erica, and I am one half of Rose at Opal Knits. Daphne is my daughter-in-law, and we are the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law duo from Delaware. That's what we say. But she's not here. She does cross stitch, but she's a new cross stitcher, and she doesn't always have a project going. She focuses on knitting and crochet usually, and I try to divide my time as equally as I can. So it's just me here today, and a little bit about myself. I am married to my high school sweetheart. We have 4 children, 3 boys. Holden is 28, Thomas is 21, and Ralph is 16, and 1 daughter, Mary Rose. She is 8. I am a homeschooling, stay-at-home mom. I am nearing 49 years old, and cross stitch was my first hobby, really, other than reading. and I started cross stitching when I was 10. So it's ebbed and flowed through the years. Once I started knitting in 2011, like knitting really took over my free time. But I did pick up a couple projects here and there, and then I took like almost a full 5-year break with no cross stitching, and I returned to cross stitching in 2020. So, and like I said, Daphne's my daughter-in-law. She's married to my oldest son, and they have 4 children also. They are 5 and under. So, but I'm going to go ahead and jump in to my end of the month update. I only touched 3 projects the last couple weeks of January because I had to complete my 2 WIPGO goals and then my personal goal for my full coverage. So I'm going to show those, and then I'm going to show my WIPGO calls for the month of February and go over my slight plans. And then I do have a couple of purchases to show because I had some Christmas money. I was still working through, gift cards and stuff like that, but it's almost all gone, and then I won't be buying any more for a while. But okay, so I had 2 WIPGO calls. I discussed them in my mid-month update. And the first one that I will show you is here. I have everything spread out on the table. In this lovely bag from Amazon is my Letty Stitch kit called Magical Horses. This is, I could do this a little bit better. This is what it'll look like when it is finished. I am using all of the kit materials. And just for fun, I did find my beginning of the year picture for 2024. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in right now. So that's where it was in 2024. And now I'm going to pop in the picture of where it was before I put any work on it this year. And this is where it is now. So my whip go goals this year are 5 hours on the called piece, 5 hours or 500 stitches. I've like never really sat down and tried to figure out how many stitches I can actually do in an hour. I mean, I'm sure it varies project to project, but I feel like when I was a member of Whip Warriors on Facebook, which I'm no longer on Facebook, but I feel like when I was a member of Whip Warriors, that's how they did it. It was 1 hour of time to 100 stitches, I think. I couldn't be wrong. It could have been a half an hour for 100 stitches, but I don't think that's right. I don't know. If somebody knows, correct me, please. I would love to know so I can adjust my goals. But I decided not to count stitches on this project because it's not in Pattern Keeper. So I just worked on it for 5 hours, and I actually gave it 5.5 hours because I had some significant frogging or ripping out right up here in this section. But I am happy with the progress. I did a middle start, so this is the carousel, and I don't think you can see it, but this is like the shape of the one of the horse's heads is starting to appear right there. So yeah, I had a lot of fun working on this project. I actually didn't want to put it down, but since I was getting closer to the end of the month and I had a couple other goals I wanted to meet, I did. I put it down, and then I picked up my second Whip Go call for the month, which is Bluebirds of Happiness by JBW Designs. And this is what it'll look like when it's done. I will pop in a picture of what it looked like before I put my 5 hours into it. I am using Atomic Ranch 18 count Ada in the Freeze, F-R-I-E-Z-E colorway. And this is a little slip that came with it, in case you wanted to see that. I am using the DMC conversion that's called for on the chart. And I should have popped in, yeah, I should have popped in my picture. And here is where I am now. So I gave this about 5 hours and 15 minutes. And I do alternate, yeah, not alternate, but I do, depending on my mood, I'll stitch in hand and I'll stitch in a frame or a hoop. But I did end up sticking this in my nurse hoop and using my floor stand while I stitched. And that is my progress. I am stitching this one thread because it's 18 count, and I don't love 2 threads on 18 count. I will do it, but I don't love it. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Both of these projects are on my Whip Go board again. So they'll get at least pulled out one more time this year, if not more than that. It just really depends on what kind of mood I'm in. Okay, so moving on to my full coverage. I have been a kit stitcher, like Dimensions Gold, and I used to my Letty Stitch, that's full coverage. But this is like my first full coverage. Like, I bought a full coverage from a company, Cross Stitch for Everyone. It's called Cozy Cabin Kitties. I'll pop a picture in, like the product picture. And I kitted this up with 16 count. It was white Ada at the time, and then I dyed it with Rit Dye tan, very light. So now it is creamy with a little bit, very light modeling. I can tell it's there, but I think that's because I knew that it was a bright white piece of Ada when I bought it. I am using all DMC. Currently, the DMC I have is living in this super cute kitty cat bag that I bought at my local needlework shop, which is Floss and Flame here in Dover, Delaware. I will pop a picture in of what it looked like at the start of the month, because my goal for this piece is 1,500 stitches a month, at least. And this is currently where it is right now. So I am stitching it in my nerd hoop. I think the last time I showed it, I had it on a scroll frame, but that just wasn't comfortable with my floor stand. My floor stand isn't very sturdy. It gets the job done, but it's like, you know, not heavy duty or anything. So this nerd hoop worked better. I don't love Q-snaps. I have them and I do use them, but I don't need my fabric to be super tight. I think that is because I do stitch in hand a lot as well. And I just find that the Q-snaps are very tight. I have trouble getting you know, the snap part on and off. I don't know. I just don't like dealing with them, but I do like nerd hoops and like basic you know, like circle hoops too. But yeah, so that's my progress. I'm very happy with that. And I have my book in front of me so I can tell you my stats. I started this on Thanksgiving Day here, which was the end of November. I forget what day exactly. I think it was November 29th, 2024. And at the start, or on December 31st of 2024, it was at 402 stitches, which was 0.36%. And now it's on January 31st, which I worked on it this morning, so I won't pick it up again today. It is at 1,931 stitches, and it is at 1.72%. So I would love to end the year at close to 20%, which means that I do have to put in more than 1,500 stitches a month. But I think I put this on my WhipGo board twice for this year, so I think I can do it. If I stay focused, I think I can do it. All right, so my two calls for, oh, I also wanted to say I'm happy with the progress that I made this month stitching, but I'd like to do better in February. For the month of January, out of 31 days, I stitched a total of 21. Like I picked up cross stitching and stitched on something a total of 21 days. So there were 10 days in the month that I didn't touch any of my cross stitching whips, and I'd like to do better in February. Okay, so my WhipGo calls are two patterns that are not in Pattern Keeper, so I'll just be keeping track of time again. And the first one was number 7, which is my oldest whip. It is a Dimensions kit. It's like probably 25 years old. My sister-in-law found it in AC Moore, which is no longer in business, and in the sale bin. And she bought it and gave it to me and said, stitch this for me. So I will give this to her once I complete it. But let me get my board. Where is it? Oh, here it is. My kids are downstairs being loud, if you can hear that. Sorry. So here it is. And I will pop in a picture of it where it was at the beginning of 2024. Because I found that I do have one, and that'll just be fun for, you know, for me to have. And, but that's, you know, so the progress you're seeing right now is the progress that I made in 2024. And I haven't touched it yet this year. I'm not sure if this is going to be the one I pick up first or if my other project is going to be the one I focus on first. But yeah, this is beautiful autumn colors. And I don't have the cover page for it any longer. I did find like a picture online of a different company, but basically it's the same picture. So if I can find that again, I'll pop that screenshot in. But yeah, here it is. It is using all the kit fabric, but no longer the kit threads. They got lost somewhere along the way, and I just matched as best I could to DMC, and so I am currently just using all DMC colors. But yeah, I had high hopes of finishing that in 2024, but then once my Facebook account got hacked and I could no longer get back on Facebook, I kind of lost my cross-stitching mojo for a while there. And so I put it down and didn't pick it back up. All right, my final whip go call for the month of February was number 8, and it is Plum Street Samplers. This I know. This was a restart for me recently, so I did show it in the last episode because I had originally started it on 36 count linen and with 1 strand over 2, and I had a moment of honesty with myself. I can't find the cover picture for some reason. I'll pop a picture of it in, so in case you're unfamiliar with the design. And I decided that I definitely don't enjoy stitching on 36 count linen. I do have some projects on linen, and I'm going to continue with those. And I did keep some linen, like 32 count, 28 count linen in my stash, but as of right now, I am considering myself an Aida stitcher. So, although I do stitch on the other ones, but you know, all my new starts right now are going to be on Aida. So here is my new start. I restarted this on 14 count Forbidden Fiber Co. fabric called, I forget, let me see, I think I have it. Corinne, and it's just gorgeous. So this was my restart up here, and I'm gonna give this project around 5 hours in the month of February at least, and we'll see how far I can get. I am using a mix of DMC and the fancy floss called for. All right, so those are my whip go calls. I'm not sure what else I'm going to get into the rest of the month, but I'm going to focus on my whip go calls the beginning half of the month. And I also want to try to get at least 1 strand of DMC stitching in my full coverage every day this month. I would love it if I could kick my butt into gear and do that. All right, so as for purchases, I saw that this was on sale on Amazon and I picked it up. Aurora Cabin DMC Gold Collection, DMC Dimensions Gold Collection. And I have plans to start this in April. April is my birthday month, and I have 2 Dimensions kits planned to start in April. Because I can't finish them if I don't start them. So I'm going to start them. And so that was a new purchase. And then I had been given some Christmas money to do what I wanted with from my mother and some from my father. So I appreciate that. And so I went to my local needlework shop, Floss and Flame. Their website is linked down below. And I picked up a new bag. And it's so pretty. I just love it. It has bunnies on it. I also picked up some overdyed flosses that I needed to put into some kitted up projects that I didn't have all the floss for. So I do think that these are all for a Wee Santa design. I think it was Wee Santa 2023. So I do plan to start that sometime this year. Those are so pretty together. I dropped one on the floor. I picked this up for a Blackbird design I am planning to start sometime this year. And then my favorite purchase of that day was this full yard of Fiber on a Whim 16 count Aida in the color Moonstone. So there it is. And here it is. It's gigantic. But I figured it was a good neutral. I have lots of patterns kitted up with floss already, but I don't have fabric since I decided that I'm an Ada stitcher. That's where my heart is right now. So I had taken all the even weave and linen out of the bags. So I needed to replace quite a bit of fabric in those kitted up projects if I'm going to work towards my 50 whips to my 50th birthday. That's what I'm going for, to get my whip count up from like what, 21 to 50 before I turn 50 next year in April. Because that just sounds fun to me. So anyway, I'm going to cut this up and I'm going to kit those up fully. All right, mom duty calls. I had to answer the tour to answer a question. But that was the end anyway. That was the last thing I had to talk about. And my goal is to finish my whip goals, get some daily progress on Cozy Cabin Kitties, and touch anything else I feel like it. And I hope to be back around mid-February with a mid-month update. So thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you spending your time here. And I'll see you again. Bye.